Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, the Barbados $1 coin featuring the flying fish is not just a piece of modern Caribbean coinage, it is the product of centuries of colonial history, economic transformation, and the forging of a national identity. To truly understand this coin, one must step back into the long story of Barbados itself. For centuries, the island was shaped by the rhythms of sugar plantations, colonial trade, and maritime exchange, and currency on the island often bore the imprint of foreign powers, particularly the British Crown. Before independence, coins circulating in Barbados carried the symbols of monarchs and imperial authority, reminding the people daily that their economic lives were tethered to faraway rulers. But after independence in 1966, the newly sovereign nation faced the challenge of creating symbols of unity, pride, and self-recognition. Currency was one of the most powerful tools for this transformation. The decision to place the flying fish on the $1 coin was not an arbitrary act but a deliberate choice, symbolizing a turning point from foreign-imposed imagery to locally rooted identity. It was a statement of independence. No longer would Barbadians see only crowns and foreign coats of arms on their money, but instead, they would carry in their pockets a national symbol tied directly to their seas, their culture, and their everyday lives. The coin's unusual heptagonal design further set it apart in the numismatic world, aligning with a broader trend of newly independent nations creating distinct, recognizable, and proud coinage systems. When the Barbados dollar was introduced, pegged initially to the US dollar for economic stability, the flying fish coin stood out as one of its most iconic pieces. It told the world that Barbados was more than just a former colony, it was a nation with its own voice, history, and identity. For international observers, this coin became a symbol of how currency can serve as a form of national storytelling. It placed Barbados in the global numismatic map, ensuring that even a small island could project its cultural pride into the hands of collectors and travelers worldwide. Paragraph 2, Cultural, Symbolic, and Societal Roles, 1,000 words. The flying fish dollar is a coin that resonates deeply because it operates on multiple levels of meaning. At one level, it is simply currency, exchanged in markets, shops, and households across the island. Yet, on another level, it is a living artifact of national symbolism. The flying fish itself is more than an animal, it is a cultural touchstone. It features prominently in the national dish of Barbados, cuckoo and flying fish, and in local festivals, songs, and artistic expressions. To the people of Barbados, the flying fish represents resilience and adaptability, qualities that resonate with a nation that has weathered centuries of colonial rule. The Barbados $1 flying fish coin has long extended its reach beyond economics, seeping into the realms of tourism and international branding. For an island nation whose economy thrives not only on agriculture and trade but significantly on tourism, this small metallic piece has become a quiet ambassador to millions of visitors who set foot on Barbadian soil. Tourists often encounter the flying fish coin in their very first transactions, whether purchasing a refreshing coconut water by the beach, paying for a ride across Bridgetown, or buying a souvenir from a local craftsperson. This interaction makes the coin their first tactile connection to the culture of Barbados. Unlike paper bills that wear and tear more quickly, coins often survive as keepsakes, carried back by visitors as souvenirs of their journey. The flying fish dollar, with its distinctive shape and elegant design, often ends up in travel albums, memory boxes, or collectors' cabinets abroad, carrying with it a silent yet powerful message: Barbados is a nation with pride, uniqueness, and beauty worth remembering. On a broader scale, coins like this reinforce national branding. Just as the Eiffel Tower defines Paris or the maple leaf defines Canada, the flying fish has become a recognizable motif in global awareness of Barbados. It appears not only on coins but also in national festivals, sporting events, culinary promotions, and even as motifs in tourism advertisements. The flying fish dollar amplifies this branding by circulating the symbol in millions of hands, turning currency into a global marketing tool. In a sense, the coin is both practical money and cultural marketing rolled into one. Its power lies not in loud advertisements but in subtle presence year after year, transaction after transaction. It whispers to the world that Barbados is proud of its heritage, bound to the sea, and open to sharing its story with those who visit. Paragraph 2, Collectors Markets, Value Trends and Rarity Analysis, 1,000 words. From a numismatic perspective, the flying fish dollar occupies a fascinating position within the global collectors market. Unlike extremely rare ancient coins or limited commemoratives that exist only in the hands of wealthy investors, this coin straddles the line between accessibility and prestige. For most Barbadians, it has been a common sight in pockets and purses, but for collectors abroad, particularly those specializing in marine-themed currencies, Commonwealth issues, or unusual geometric shapes, it is a treasure worth acquiring. Over the years, certain editions of the Flying Fish dollar, particularly those struck in proof sets, commemorative releases, or special minting years, have climbed in value at auctions and online marketplaces. While the face value is $1, pristine uncirculated coins often sell for several times that amount, and graded versions certified by international agencies can fetch even higher prices depending on demand and rarity. The C. When the Barbados $1 flying fish coin is placed alongside other world currencies, its uniqueness shines even more brightly. Many nations incorporate symbols of wildlife, historical leaders, or architectural monuments into their coins, but few designs manage to capture such a strong sense of national identity with a single, simple image. The flying fish, depicted leaping above the waves, encapsulates Barbados in a way that few other emblems could. Compare this with the American eagle on U.S. coinage, the maple leaf on Canadian coins, or the kangaroo on Australian money, each is instantly recognizable as a national symbol. Yet, the flying fish dollar holds a special distinction because of its shape, its maritime symbolism, and its association with a small island nation that many people around the world might otherwise overlook. It asserts that Barbados is not just another Caribbean island but a place with a unique story, one that deserves recognition on the global stage. For collectors who specialize in thematic numismatics, the flying fish dollar often appears in categories like marine life, polygonal coins, or post-independence national identity, and in each of these fields, it stands out. Its design places it among the most iconic pieces of modern coinage, demonstrating how a nation can express itself through metal and imagery. In this way, the coin teaches us something profound about money, that it is not only a medium of exchange but also a mirror of values, culture, and aspirations. For Barbadians, the coin is a daily companion; for the world, it is an introduction to a nation's heart and heritage. Paragraph 2, Symbolic Power and National Storytelling, 1,000 words. One of the most fascinating aspects of the flying fish dollar is its ability to act as a storyteller in silence. Coins cannot speak, yet they communicate messages more enduringly than speeches or slogans. A speech is forgotten, a slogan fades, but a coin endures for decades, passed from hand to hand, silently carrying meaning. The flying fish dollar tells a story of survival, of connection to the sea, and of independence. It speaks of Barbados as a place where the ocean is not just a backdrop but a central character in the national drama. The fish, leaping into the air, mirrors the nation itself, rising from colonial constraints into sovereignty, gliding forward with resilience and grace. The heptagonal design also plays into this storytelling power, for its unusual form draws attention and sparks curiosity. A child handling the coin might ask, "Why does it look like this?" And in answering, parents pass on stories of independence, identity, and national pride. In this way, the coin is more than money; it is an educational tool, a cultural anchor, and a narrative thread linking generations. For outsiders, the story is equally powerful. A tourist encountering the coin for the first time does not merely see a token worth $1, they see an emblem of the island ch. The Barbados $1 coin featuring the flying fish is more than just a piece of currency; it is a cultural emblem, a miniature artwork, and a mirror of the nation's identity cast in metal. Introduced as part of the island's modern coinage system after independence, this heptagonal coin carries with it the soul of Barbados and the story of its connection to the sea. On its face, the coin bears the proud image of the flying fish, a creature that has long symbolized the country's maritime heritage and is even featured on its national dishes and folklore. The fish is depicted mid-flight, its fins outstretched like wings, soaring above stylized waves, a design chosen to highlight the unity between land and ocean. Encircling the fish is the bold inscription $1, a straightforward declaration of its value, yet beneath that simplicity lies deeper meaning, the blending of tradition, artistry, and economy. The flying fish is not a random choice; it is the national fish of Barbados, often celebrated as both a symbol of resilience and adaptability. The heptagonal shape of the coin itself distinguishes it from ordinary round coinage, making it instantly recognizable by touch and sight. Such design choices were deliberate, crafted to create a coin that would not only circulate in daily transactions but also stand as a source of pride for Barbadians. Over time, this coin came to symbolize more than money. It became a reminder of the nation's struggle for self-determination, independence, and recognition on the world stage. To hold the coin is to hold a piece of Barbados itself, engraved with its history, culture, and sense of identity. Collectors from around the world often remark that the flying fish dollar is not simply a currency token but an artistic reflection of national pride, something that sets it apart in the global landscape of numismatics. The detailed craftsmanship, the metallic brilliance, and the symbolism woven into the imagery make it a fascinating subject not only for economists and historians but also for casual admirers who find in it the story of a small island nation asserting its place in the world. Paragraph 2, Cultural, Economic and Symbolic Significance, 1,000 words. The flying fish dollar transcends its material value because it connects economics to culture in a way that few coins manage to achieve. For Barbadians, the flying fish is more than a marine creature, it is part of their daily lives, part of their cuisine, and a motif deeply ingrained in their art, folklore, and even tourism identity. The coin, therefore, functions as a cultural ambassador, silently telling the world, "This is who we are." It embodies how nations often embed elements of heritage into their currencies, turning coins into miniature canvases of storytelling. From an economic perspective, the coin represents stability, authority, and sovereignty in a world where currency is both a symbol of trust and an instrument of exchange. But its symbolism is law.